Well, hello everyone. This is Raquel and I want to welcome you. It is a another portal date. It's a 7/7 portal date. But the real gateway started back on Friday. And we are once again going through waves and waves and waves of new information, new light codes, new um, plasma instructions coming in to our reality. And it's interesting as we sit here, the middle of the year, we're halfway through 2021 already. And there has been so much that has continued to go on that it's almost like a broken record. um, I was thinking about it again, and it's like it's a constant. There's always something happening in the cosmos that is affecting us as humans, the planet, the solar system, the galaxy, that it's really at this point the normal. Thinking back 3, 5 years ago, we used to have breaks. We used to have waves in which things would come in and then we'd have time to assimilate. And those days are really over as we continue to move through this awakening process and to continue to understand the magnitude of what is happening in our physicality. We go through our daily lives, and most of us are really um, noticing, very aware, very perceptive, feeling it in our physicality, in our awarenesses, the continuous shifts that are happening. And these are happening at the magnetic level. And this shift in the magnetics that I've been talking about all year long are really affecting the atoms, the literal cellular structure of our bodies. And as this happens, our body is moving through transformation, literally. And it is affecting us in sometimes some very bizarre ways, things that we haven't experienced before. And that is the name of the game, right? We are experiencing new things within our bodies. The interesting thing is some of it is really not very pleasant. Many are having a very hard time staying grounded. Many are having some really weird things show up in their body, on their body. Um, Vision is weird. Exhaustion is at a peak right now. So lots of things are happening that are unusual in the old paradigm. And it is truly a challenge for many, myself included, to move through these shifts and changes that are happening at the cellular level. Any of you who have followed my work for the last decade or two know that I have consciously worked with what I refer to as the architects of the divine vehicle. The divine vehicle being our body, our physical bodies, in which we will have the ascension through, which is where we will awaken from within. And the architecture of the body, the way in which it functions, is shifting at its primordial, at its primary levels. And so we are seeing and experiencing things within our physicality that, if we didn't have this knowledge, could be quite alarming to some. If you didn't understand the process of what is happening within our physicality on a day to day basis, um, there could be room for that four-letter word to come in, fear or apprehension. But it is because we understand the magnitude of what our body is going through that we can ride these waves, ride through and experience the symptoms of the incredible transformation that is happening at the cellular level. We are experiencing the change in the magnetics that are going on within this solar system, within this planetary system right now. And as we continue to disconnect, and yes, disconnect is the word, disconnect from the old magnetics, the cellular structure, the literal charge, negative, positive charge within the cellular adamantine particle level of our being is changing. And so the body continues to go through this level of transformation. And I know that many, many, many of you are experiencing this very physically, very tangibly in your day to day experience. The exhaustion, the dizziness, the blurred vision, the continual clearing of the intestines, the fatigue that is sometimes unbearable, or not unbearable, but it makes it very difficult to make it through a normal uh day for many who we've been on this roller coaster of go 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 go, and now that we are a year, well, half a year out of 2020, and that slowdown for some, not all, but for some that happened. And now everybody's wanting to get back to a little bit more of a normal schedule. And you're noticing that you really just, the stamina is not there. And the stamina is not there because of what is happening at your cellular level. Unfortunately, medical doesn't really understand this. They don't have the framework. They don't understand the consciousness of our cellular body, of what the cells actually are, of what the DNA actually is. And so we are really plowing through, leading the way with our innate knowing of the depth of the transformation that is happening in our physical bodies. And this allows us to walk through this process with probably a lot more ease and grace than most on the planet. And yes, it is not happening at the same level right now for the rest of you humanity. We are on the forefront of this transformation. We have been leading the way for quite a while in this process of the physical change in our cellular systems, our cellular body, our divine vehicle that is changing at the architectural level of what this divine vehicle is. And so there is a lot of compassion that is required for just ourselves in allowing the rest, the recuperation, the self care that is needed to truly allow this process to happen. And again, this is going to happen for every single person in a body on this planet in the next few years. But we are the forerunners, and we are paving the way. And, just like with anything else that has ever transpired, the ones that go first have the most challenges because we are breaking through old patterns, old architecture that is there. And the architecture that I'm talking about is literally in our physical bodies. So just be aware of that as we continue on this process The amount of energy that is required, the amount of clearing of the physical body that is required to actually embody consciousness. And so I just want you to remember that, to have a level of compassion for yourself that you would actually give to others if you knew, if you were in that nurturing role, right? Of compassion and love for others. We need to give that to ourselves first and foremost, because it is through our dedication, our willingness to be on this path, that humanity will have a clear road, a clear pathway in which to follow. It's like we are in the jungles of what it takes to embody consciousness, and we are cutting the pathway, we are forging uh, the road for all of those to follow. And right now, in this particular year, we really are in a continuous process, if you will, of the clearing and the transformation that is happening. And so, if you are feeling those symptoms, the exhaustion, the dizziness, the shift in the eyesight, the um, constant clearing of the body, all of those things, just know that you really are on the forefront of paving the way for this massive shift in consciousness on the planet. As I've said from day one, this is an inside job. And many all thought that it was just your thoughts or your emotions or your belief systems. And that couldn't be further from the truth. It is a physical transformation that is happening, that goes hand in hand with the mental, emotional, spiritual side of awakening.